20 Questions with
Nicole LaLiberte.
Nicole, welcome to 20 Questions with. How are you doing tonight?
Great.
Good. What is your favourite colour?
My favorite color. Wow. Oh, anything neon.
Neon? Oh my god. Okay. What was your least favourite subject at school?
Oh. Him. I mean, that's considered as a subject, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, second to gym, home ec.
Home, what was that? Home economics?
Home economics.
Oh, I got you, yeah.
Christian Calloway.
Christian, welcome to 20 Questions with. How are you?
Oh, I am doing so good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Favourite meal?
Oh, breakfast.
Breakfast.
Yeah, I like breakfast. Of any style or sort.
If you could trade places with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
I can immediately think of characters or religious figures, but I don't think that those would truly be my answer. If I would really stop and have to really put some thought into it, I think it would be my own father, just so I could understand how it was to be inside of the body of a man that was such an incredible person.
Lisa Corso.
Are you afraid of clowns?
Yeah.
What is it about them that you don't like?
I saw this movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space when I was a kid, and it was so gross. It just ruined me on them. And I played a clown before.
Ah.
Still, I was like, nope, still don't like them.
What would you say is your best quality?
I work really hard to be an active listener. I work hard at it. I think it's important, and so I would hope that people would say I'm a good listener.
Yeah, that's a nice quality to have, that's for sure.
Ian Buchanan.
Welcome Ian to 20 Questions. How are you today?
Very well, thank you very much.
Which teacher at school had the most impact on you and why?
Probably my first teacher, I think, probably Mrs. Lewis, because she taught me to read and write.
Well, that's, yeah, incredibly impactful, obviously.
Yeah, and in Scotland, we kind of learned to do that by almost before we're 5, so it's very important. So,
yes.
I work with the charity here that's called Alphalit, which goes into third world countries and encourages young people to learn to read and to write very quickly, and it changes their lives. So it's very important. I see the great value of that. Knowing the great value of that, I see the great value of that.
What inspires you?
Literature, I think, I have to say first and foremost, although perhaps maybe I'm very positive and very hopeful, but I don't know if I'm inspired by that. I think I'm maybe by, or even maybe just to cover the whole thing and say magic. I'm so inspired just by the magic of life and how things change, and it's magical. But definitely I think I access that through probably literature, I would say.
Yeah.
J.R. Starr, Starr.
JR, welcome to 20 Questions with. How are you doing there?
Well, I'm doing quite nicely now that I'm talking to you.
What is your favorite animal?
My favorite animal is my doggie.
Oh, lovely. What kind of dog have you got?
That's Snowflake. If I call her, she'll come in here and I'll put her on the camera.
What kind of dog have you got?
It's like a little mutt. Hey, Snowflake! Come here. Hey, Snowflake. Come on. But anyway, come here, girl. Come on, Snowflake. Yeah, she's in there barking now. Like, what do you want? What do you want? I want you, goddammit. Get your ass in here. She may come in a little bit later, so we keep going.
Oh, that's lovely. What was your best subject at school?
My best subject at school was I was an artist. I love to draw and paint and make T-shirts and sculptures stuff. I was into the arts.
Do you still paint now?
And no, I haven't painted lately. I've been painting with verbs. I mean, with words, not verbs, with words.
Yeah.
Like in profession. That's the new art that I'm into now.
Christophe Zajec Denek.
Christophe, welcome to 20 Questions. How are you today?
Hey, I'm excellent. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Who would you like to be stuck in an elevator with?
Holy smokes. Anyone at all?
Yeah, anyone, famous or otherwise.
Could they be deceased?
Yeah.
I'd like to be stuck in an elevator with my grandma who's passed because she was awesome.
That's really good. That's nice. What was your favorite childhood toy?
My favorite childhood toy were probably Legos. I played so much with Legos and built everything, and I think that was the first thing I ended up working chores and odd jobs for to save up money to buy. Yeah, Legos.
And have you ever stepped on one barefooted?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
That's the unique pain, isn't it?
The sharp edges are not good.
It's not good at all. No.
Annette McCarthy.
Hello, Annette. Well, welcome to 20 Questions with. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful, Frank. It's lovely to speak to you.
What would you name your boat if you had one?
Amelia.
Oh, very nice. Any particular reason?
Yes, that is my mother's, that is my mother's middle name, and my mother's passed, some 35 years ago now, and I've always loved that name, and I always thought it's very old-fashioned-y, and so I just reminds me of my mom, and it's just a little enchanting name.
Have you ever been up in a hot air balloon?
I have.
Ah.
I have.
Wow.
I went to, and the funny thing is, I'm terrified of flying. I'm one of those people that have to have, Valium and a couple of drinks and hold my hand. I'm very afraid of flying, although I love to travel, ironically. And Napa Valley, which is not too far away from Los Angeles, perhaps it's a 5-hour ride, where, all of our wine, most of the wine in California comes from Napa Valley, and it's beautiful there. It's absolutely beautiful there, north of here. And they have hot air balloon excursions over the valley, and it was nothing like getting up in it was very, natural, if you will. There was nothing frightening about it. It was just gliding over the valley. It was lovely. It was wonderful.
If you could invite a famous person from history to dinner, who would it be and why?
Darnation. I've got a couple.
Okay.
Darn it. I've got a couple.
Go with the couple if you want to, yeah.
Okay. Firstly, I would have Abraham Lincoln, simply because he was my favorite president, and I believe that from whatever we read about him, he governed and with purity of heart, and I think he did things from that perspective. And there's a story about him pardoning a young boy who had escaped. He had gone AWOL from the army, because he was afraid, and I think he was a teenager. He was 16 or 15 or something like that. And because he was, what's the word I'm looking for? Because he had gone AWOL, he was set to be executed. And, not AWOL, he abandoned, I can't find the word. He abandoned the army. He left. He was due to be executed. And, Abraham Lincoln pardoned him because he said to the mother was pleading and crying, saying, please pardon my son. And he did, because he said, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for wanting to not be in this mess. And so there's Abe Lincoln, there's Albert Einstein, because, just because I just would want to know how his mind worked and how he saw things and how he thought. I would love to have dinner with him. And the third would be John Lennon. And I love John Lennon, and I know people love him because of his songs. I knew that he was quite a bit of a son of a bitch, as well as, writing Imagine.
Yeah.
I think that he had dual nature. So I'm not as easily in love with him being all peace and love. I think he was a real son of a bitch. But I also believe that he overcame a lot of that shit. When he got sober, when he had a family, he started to really overcome that part of him that really fought against life. And I would love to have dinner with him as well.
Robert Broski.
Hi, Robert. Welcome to the 20 Questions. How are you this evening?
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm doing fantastic, and thank you for asking.
The beach or the woods?
Oh, definitely the woods.
Have you ever flown in a helicopter?
No, that would scare the crap out of me. I would do it if I had to volunteer to do it. I'd do it for free, but I'm not going to just jump in there and say, hey, let's go do that. But if someone kind of pushed me, I'd do it.
What is your best quality?
I think honesty. I think honesty is my best quality. I have been acknowledged for that. The good thing about honesty is your friends and whoever you come in contact with know that they can trust you. And so I try to be as honest as I can.
Yes, that's a really good quality.
Sabrina Sutherland.
Sabrina, welcome to 20 Questions. If you could time travel, which moment in history would you like to visit?
Maybe in the 30s, 20s, 30s, during the Depression.
And if you could change one fundamental thing about the world, what would it be and why?
I just wish everybody could live in peace and there wasn't any war and people weren't greedy and everybody had enough to eat and, the rich didn't get richer and the poor didn't get poorer, that everybody just kind of lived and everybody would be happy.
This is Michael Horse.
Michael, welcome to 20 Questions with. How are you today?
I'm really good, considering the possibilities of things that could happen to me.
What is your favorite meal or your favorite dish that you like to eat?
Oh, it's fried chicken.
So you're a fried chicken fella, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a fried chicken. I mean real fried chicken, not that Kentucky fried stuff. Real Southern fried chicken that's cooked in a cast iron skillet with some lard in it, cooked till it doesn't have a vitamin left in it.
If you could invite one famous person, alive or dead, to dinner, who would it be and why?
Crazy Horse.
Okay.
I would like to know what he thought about the invading culture that was coming into his territory and what they thought about it. It must have been very, very strange to see these people come and killing animals for no particular reason, and trains coming and had smoke and made loud noises, and people fencing off the land. It must have been, pretty much like an alien invasion. So I would like to, and Crazy Horse was a holy person. I would like to know, I mean, my elders told me a long time ago, you want to know about any culture, find out what they find sacred and what they find funny. So, I'm always asking people from other cultures, tell me a joke, it gives you great insight into them. But yeah, I would love to have some time with Crazy Horse.
Andrea Hays.
Andrea, welcome to 20 Questions With. How are you today?
I'm just well. How are you?
I'm doing great. When you're having a bad day, Andrea, what do you like to do to make yourself feel better?
Kill someone.
That's probably the best answer I've ever heard, actually.
Do some sort of art therapy. I do a lot of art.
Now I'd like to see some of your art at some point, and I hope you can send me a couple of little things,
right.
Please. Yeah, yeah, because that's one thing I'm envious of, in a good way, I mean. But I'm so admire people who can paint or draw, because it's something I'm absolutely useless at.
I do pottery and metalsmithing and crochet and a little bit of glass bead work, and yeah.
Good, you really are like multi-talented, aren't you? Yeah. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
Can I swear?
Yeah.
My mother always used to tell us, if you ever get hit with a bucket of shit, make sure to close your eyes.
Sean Bolger.
Hey Sean, welcome to 20 Questions. How you doing there?
Great, how you doing, Frank?
Wonderful, man. Have you ever ridden on an elephant?
Have I ever ridden on That is, Frank, that is a really good question.
Yeah.
And, wait, written, W-R-I-T-T-E-N, or ridden, R-I...
Ridden as in rode on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
You have? Wow. No, that's not an answer I expected at all.
Yeah, I was a kid at the county fair, and I had a button. I had a button that said, I rode an elephant. But yeah, it was a thing, when I was a kid. And when my mom took me to the fair, and there was an elephant there, and you can go out for a ride on it, and then you got a button. So yeah, on an elephant.
Wow. That surprised me. What scares you?
Wow, Frank.
Not me, I hope.
No. It's hard to say, because a lot does. But really, I would, what scares me, man? Getting old. And there's... At
least you got your hair.
Yeah. Sorta. Some of it. Yeah. No, it's just... in the last 10 years, all the little things, as the warranties expired on this chassis, all the little things clicking and popping and ticking.
Oh, yeah.
I was, and I'm like, I wonder where we go from here. So, yeah, that's the one thing.
Oh, I agree. That's a good one.
Galyn Gorg.
Galyn, welcome to 20 Questions. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
What was your best subject at school?
Oh, definitely English. English, I was always good with English. Math, I had a challenge. Geometry, I really had a challenge. And even though I had a really hard time with geometry. In 11th grade, I was in geometry, and I've never told this story publicly, but I would go in 11th grade. Oh no, this was 11th grade. I went for one semester every lunch with the teacher to practice, to learn how to do geometry, to do the proofs. And I practiced, and when they put the final in front of me and I went to take the final, I still couldn't do it. Geometry was really difficult for me doing the proofs. But before that, that was in public school. But at one point, I was in what was called a free school, an alternative school. And it was one of those type of schools where you sit on the couch and you call the teachers by the first name, and real artistic, that kind of school. And when I had that kind of attention in algebra, I excelled in math more than I ever had when I was at that school. And in algebra, I did really well. And I think it was because of the structure that they had, and the somehow I got it finally when I was there. But otherwise, math was difficult. But English, I always excelled in. Yeah, a writer, and writing and presentations. English, I was really good.
Who would you like to be stuck in an elevator with?
It depends for what reason. Okay.
Well, it could be anyone famous, alive or dead, or someone close to you, or anyone really. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody? There's a lot of different people I could think of. Like, if it was for like, wow, my dad really liked Yogananda, and that would be great to be in a like with a spiritual type of person and their perspective. Then it would be great to be stuck in an elevator with somebody like I'm trying to think of like a Native American elder, like our Dayani Yawahu, the Lakota woman, one of those ladies, or someone like that, or like a business person. Wow, it would be great to be stuck in the elevator with like Warren Buffett, or they call him the wisest investor. That would be interesting. And I'd love, Helen Mirren as an actress. Oh, I'd love to be in an elevator with her, because she's such a great actress. She also seems like such a fun, easy, cool person to talk to. And gosh, who else? Oh gosh, I know you said one person, but
you're going through your bucket list.
I know, and I know when this is done, I'm going to think oh, I should have said that person and that person, But so many cool, great people, Those are the ones that just come off the top of my head, though.
Name one country you'd like to visit that you haven't already.
Oh, that I haven't already.
Yeah.
I've always had a fondness. It's so strange. I've always had a fondness to go to Russia. To go.
It's cold there, Galyn.
I know, and I don't like the cold. But I've always had this fondness to go to Russia. I think it's something about the culture that I like. Something about the culture that I like. It would be so. There's so many beautiful trade. I've never been to Africa. There's certain countries in Africa that I have a friend from Senegal that I was thinking it would be wonderful to go there. And I have a friend recently from Russia, in a country. It's called Chelyabinsk, and he says the forest over there is just so gorgeous. And what about going to Germany, to the forest there, the Black Forest they call it? Oh, that would be beautiful.
Oh yeah,
to see
it sounds
that.
great there. Yeah.
I'd probably choose a country based on the nature and the culture and the people, but those are some of the top. And of course, Tahiti and Fiji, to go to the beach. How could I not?
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you're a beach gal. Yeah.
Right, or
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Best piece of advice that I was given is to remind myself that I'm awesome. Because I was having a challenging moment, and remind myself that I'm awesome. I know anyone that hears this being a human being, sometimes, it can be challenging, and there's so much negativity, and there's so much negativity in the world, and you can start having some self-doubt, and you don't even realize you're having self-doubt. You just start having, you do. And so tell yourself that you're awesome. And I heard some report recently, it was on the news, something with some young girl was going into a surgery, and they said she was like 9, and she said she would never walk. They said she would never walk again, and she said, no, I will walk again. And they said, well, and they were going to do this surgery, and they were sick because she'd gotten some serious disease, and they had said, the doctors, you'll never walk again. You'll never walk. And she said, no, I will again. And they were like, well, why do you think you'll walk again? She goes, because I'm awesome. She said, because I'm awesome. That's really good to tell yourself you're awesome. I'm awesome, because we all have Frank, you know how we all have genius, no matter who we are. We all have genius and something beautiful to share with the world. We all have something wonderful. So that's what popped into my mind right now.
Well, you are awesome, yeah. So
thank you, Frank. You are too. So are you, Frank.
Thank you.
Kathleen Deming.
Kathleen, welcome to 20 Questions With. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you for having me, Frank.
Very welcome. What's something your brain tries to make you do, and you have to will yourself not to do it?
Stay in bed.
Staying in bed. Not wanting to get out of bed, you mean, or especially in the winter, yeah.
Well, I don't want to say anything that will incriminate me.
Oh, no, definitely not. No. If you could travel back in time to any part of Earth's history, where would you go and why?
I think I would like to see the Egyptian times. I just have some kind of memory back in my mind. I don't know, that maybe I was there once. That's a question.
Oh, really? Well, do you think maybe like a past life or something like that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Kenneth, Welsh.
Ken, welcome to 20 Questions With. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Frank. Very well indeed. I'm out here in the sunshine enjoying a little club soda, not club soda, but a soda stream with a lemon in it. It's a really lovely afternoon, yeah?
Oh, wonderful. Oh, something went weird there. Yeah. Okay, Ken. I don't know what that was, but what was the first record you ever bought?
I know exactly what it was. I was like 13 or years old or something. 14. I was walking with my girlfriend. I grew up in a place called Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada, right?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
We walked all the way downtown. I bought a record for $1. It was a 78 RPM, right?
Yeah.
It was Dean Martin singing "Memories Are Made of This."
I know that song. Yeah. I remember that song, Ken. Yeah.
This was prior to Elvis, so it was still like a little bit of like pop mixed with early rock. It wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah. The crooning, sort of crooner. Yeah.
Exactly. The crooning was still on, man. So Dean, all that. Yeah, good.
Yeah. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Well, let's see. I was thinking of the best piece of advice I was given that I never took, which came from my mother, so that's okay. When I decided to become an actor, I told them, I said, look, I'm going to become an actor. Is that okay? Because I was going to university and take my degree in drama. And my mother said, well, dear, why don't you take a degree in education to go along with that? Then you could have something to fall back on. I said, Mom, I'm not going to fall back. I'm going forward, okay? And she said, all right, dear. So that was her sort of non-advice. I hold dear to my heart. I love my mother very much. So there you go.
Yeah, that's great, Ken. Who would you like to see play you in a film about your life?
Gosh, aside from myself, I just don't know. Let me see. Wow.
I'll tell you who I think, although it's the wrong era, because he's long gone. If it had been if it had been a different era, for some reason, a young Jimmy Cagney resembles you a wee bit. I don't know why. I just got to think about Cagney could play you.
Hey, Brian, you hit something here. When I was younger, people always used to say, hey, man, you look like James Cagney. I said, come on. And they said, yeah, you do. And so you're right. Cagney, let's go with Cagney. Because he was, at the same time, serious and light and funny, which is the way I like to live my life. So there you go. Done.
Oh, well, I put words in your head there, mate. Yeah.
Nice. Well done, Frank.